Hi guys.
We need the camera.
Linda Morrison here, just talking with Trudy Pavlovsky about the walk of the modern online entrepreneur. And a lot of what we're going to talk about in this next little while is actually taking care of yourself, because it does take a lot of stamina and consistency to get really good at your business. A lot of growth occurs, a lot of creativity. If you're not right with your health and your energy, it does get quite challenging. So I'm going to ask Trudy what she does to keep herself together and moving forward. Thanks for the love. Hi Kaz, I can see a couple of people on here. And then I'm going to flip it around perhaps and talk about a little bit what I do, though all of my ageless body stuff, you guys see a lot about how I look after myself, and I'm very consistent with that. So Trudy, how do you keep yourself excited?
Fired up and excited about
your
being
business?
an entrepreneur. We were actually talking earlier about the mental health side of being an entrepreneur and being a business owner. And a lot of it is a very, very conscious choice that I make every day to take specific action. And it's always a decision about how I want to feel about what I'm doing. And, we go through, I don't know if you've heard the thing, running your own business is the best personal development that you will ever do in your life. It certainly is in my books. And I've made a conscious decision to focus on the work, focus on the outcomes, get it done. I'm a big planner. I have my daily focus list, my weekly, my monthly, and my quarterly plan set up in OneNote on my laptop. And also, I think from a physical thing, for me, it is movement. There has to be movement in my day, because when I'm sitting at the laptop for 12 hours straight, physically it hurts. And when the physical hurts, I know the mental stuff starts to play out and hurt as well. Dancing and walking. Dancing's awesome.
And you're not going to have me disagree about the whole movement thing. We all actually know, or anyone related to health and fitness knows that the pump of the muscles actually switches on the brain. It's not the other way around. So daily movement, you are a physical body, you absolutely move. It is a massive part of my daily ritual of health, of which you can find on my YouTube channel, Linda Morrison. But my daily ritual of health I get up, lots of water, some vitamins, I exercise, meditate, body scrub, protein-rich breakfast on with my day, and I try to get dressed for my office, which happens to be at home. And in terms of business planning, I probably am not as planned as Trudy. I do block my hours in my day, then in my week, then in my month. And I find that I do need to oscillate, as we are not multitasking, but we are multidisciplined. So we have to be sometimes in the planning mode, sometimes in the creative mode, and then sometimes in that doing mode that's getting the people on board our business. Is that needs to be blocked and structured for me, because if I spend too much time in the tech stuff, it switches off my creative brain. Because I'm not naturally astute around that. I have upskilled and very quickly have done so in these last 4 or 5 years, and it's not a natural part of the way my brain operates. I like people. Yeah. So I've had to structure that. Now I understand if I spend too much time doing that, I don't enjoy it. I would much rather be teaching you here on camera than I would be making the back end of landing pages, etc. But I have had to learn it. Yeah. So that is part of being a modern entrepreneur as well, that you do need to upskill and know when to back off those areas of your business and perhaps get someone like Trudy in to do that part that she's really, really good at, and vice versa of me. And but the walk and the march of the modern day woman and entrepreneur is very multifaceted, and you need to be of good health, emotional and physical, to have the sustenance to keep going and fortify for your future, and the fortitude in that to make sure that you take yourself out of the business a little bit, because it is all about who you're serving.
Yeah.
So you do
sorry,
remember that.
I've got something actually that I think is really quite relevant to that. So I used to cram my diary just back to back to back to back to back with appointments, tasks, things to do, and it'd start at 9 in the morning and it'd just be full, and they weren't realistic time frames, and it was exhausting. And one of the things, or two things I'd like to share. One thing one of my mentors taught me is the only thing to put in your diary is scheduled appointments that have to occur at that time. So I've started doing that. And the rest of the things that I have to do, they go into my daily, weekly focused task list. So what it allows, and this is the second thing I wanted to talk about, is what we call white space. So there's space in your diary to be, to go for a walk, to stop and meditate and have a break. And it just helps your brain program from this entrepreneurial thing that we're sold when we first get into business, that we have to be busy all the time. And if we're not being busy, we're somehow ripping off our clients or ripping ourselves off, or we're not serious about our business. If we're not go, but that's when we get the burnout, because most women are not only doing their business, but they've got their families, their children, their friends, their other commitments outside of that. So having that structure around your planner and your diary and that white space to be able to take the time out that you'll need, for me, that just dropped a huge mental load when I implemented that. And all of a sudden, I wasn't working 12 hours a day. I'm working to the tasks that need to be done. It's made a huge difference, because now I've got space to go for a walk or to meditate and do those things that are actually nourishing to my physical self.
Yeah, so there's discipline within, and it all makes sense. And I think if you've gone from being employed to now being self-employed, there is that propensity to just put the pedal to the metal, and I know I did that as well. I've also changed my lists around once I went through extreme stress of a divorce, is that I couldn't have long lists anymore. I used to be really good with long lists, but I found that I worked on this very, very important proviso of deadlines. So what are the top 2 things to catapult my business and me personally in each day? So the overwhelm just went away, and I would focus on getting those 2 tasks done, one in my personal well-being practice and then one in my business practice that had to be done that day. And invariably, I got them done by 9 a.m. I could write another short list of the 2 top things that then became the next 2 top things that I actually had to do to move forward in a catapult way. So to give impact, as opposed to all the fillers that we do. We can easily write long lists of crap.
Busy.
Yeah, busy but not effective.
Yep.
So very important, very basic, and I do find women especially busying themselves with tasks that are unimportant, just to feel as if they are ticking off things, but they're just on a little bit of a treadmill, not getting anywhere. So really, really super important, what's going to catapult you personally and in your business life in each day. And that chunking down was very, very important to me, because looking too far ahead was too overwhelming at times. So I think, and I hope that's helpful. If you want to ask any questions, please do so in this stream underneath. Share this stream amongst people whom would find this helpful, whether you're just a busy woman or a busy woman with a business, for busy men, for that matter, who happened to be partnered up with any of these women.
You don't have to burn out to be successful.
Oh,
I think
no.
it's one of the biggest lessons that I've learned in my first business, was being busy for the sake of busy doesn't actually achieve anything.
And I think going back to our previous video, if you're just watching it about video, is that, and then when you're connecting with people, people can actually see whether you are on task, connecting with them, going to be able to actually help them. And if you are in burnout, if you're sitting on borderline burnout, if you're really not doing your business for the right reasons, then they will see that. And it will affect your sales, it'll affect your total outcome, it'll affect your service. So super important to be
Especially if you're a wellness and health coach and you're sitting there with bags under your eyes and looking shattered. It doesn't actually help your brand. It's not going to get you the results. So I love what you said, Linda, about those 2 tasks. Like, just get them done by 9:30 in the morning, and then see what other magic you can create in your day. Yeah. I like it.
Thank you, Trudy. Thanks everybody.
Bye. Now we go through this end part of hitting finish.